Good morning, everyone. Did you miss me? I had a week off of doing 3D projects. I miss crafting. I always love creating new projects for you. So today's project is using a new bundle that we have called the Sweet Jar Bundle. And we are going to be making this super cute slider box. And this one, you don't need a die cutting machine for it. We just need this, our little sweet jar punch, and we can create these cute little boxes. They make perfect party favors, or they could also make a small birthday gift. You know, sometimes you want to give someone something for birthday, but you don't want them to feel like you got them too much. Well, then just get them a little box filled with candy. So this box isn't quite as deep as I normally go. This is a 3/4 inch box because I'm envisioning this holding like gummy candy, jelly beans, like a really small colorful candy. You want to make sure it's colorful because that way it looks pretty in the window. So M&Ms would work really well with this too. So I'm going to show you how to make this, and don't let me forget, I've got this candy right now. This one's loose in here, but I also have small little cellophane bags that you could put the candy in if you want it to kind of stay, I don't know, a little bit more protected. If you're going to do this for an event, of course, when you're handling candy, you'll want to use gloves, and you'll want to use, put the candy in a cellophane bag rather than just loose. But if it's a party like for, friends and family, that trust you and stuff, just a family thing, then absolutely you can just put it loose in there. If it's something like jelly beans, or whatever. You have to decide what your comfort level is with loose candy. But these are super cute, and I made them with the 2025-2027 ink colors. And you're going to see a lot of projects for me using these ink colors going forward. I finally have all the products from my catalog order that I didn't have before I left for the trip. I had some of them, but not all of them. Like, look at this lovely ribbon. We have ribbon in all 5 of the in colors. So it's so cute. And look, this is one. Here's one with Timid Tiger, and this one you can see my cellophane bag back in the back there. This one does have the cellophane bag in it. So this one's in Timid Tiger, and then this one is Strawberry Slush, which is a returning in color, and it is a favorite, and that's why they brought it back. Today we're going to be making it with yet another in color that is Cloud Cover. That's kind of it's a blue-gray color. So we're going to be making it with one more color so that you can see how this just creates a kind of a fun color, maybe not quite a color rainbow, but it just is fun to do it in more than one color. So I'm going to share how to make that today. I will have a project sheet for you on Saturday. This will go out in Saturday's email. You need to be on my email list to get my project sheets. So I do a photo of the project, I do instructions, and I do a supply list, and then I do a diagram so that you can just print it off and you can save it. Or if you don't want to have like paper flying around, save it to your computer, your iPad, and then you have a project folder, Brenda's project sheets, you can call it. No, you might have project sheets from other people too, but you can have like a project sheets folder, and that way you can save projects for future use. But I really do love the sweet jars, so we're going to be making it with this bundle today. The other thing, okay, here, let me just show you the sweet jar bundle first. Okay, here is the stamp set. And today I am just using the greeting of the stamp set, but you will absolutely want to have the stamp set because when you create cards or other projects, you're going to want to punch, and you're going to want these little lines right here to create the illusion that it is a jar. I didn't use it today because we're actually creating a window that sees through, but it also has, look at, jelly beans. Yay! That's what I'm putting in my little jar boxes today. So, and we've got hearts and shamrocks, and so this is a really fun bundle. You'll want to get both of them together as a bundle so you can save 10%. And you can purchase them individually, but don't regret by not getting the full bundle. The other thing I wanted to talk about, we are in the month of May, and you know, we all want to save money, but we want to craft, right? So getting the starter kit right now in the month of May is a really good deal, because you're going to get $40 worth of product extra that you don't get with the normal starter kit. So normally our starter kit's $99. It is still $99, but instead of only getting $125 worth of product, you're going to get $165 worth of product, plus the starter kit ships for free. So what I did today, I took a little extra time. Sorry, I'm a little late this morning, but I created a May 2025 Sweet Jar Sample Starter Kit for you. If you're interested in getting the starter kit and you probably don't have the new in colors yet, I created a sheet, and you can find that below in the video. It's a PDF, and we'll be going over it real quick in just a moment, just so I can show you what's on there and why certain things are on there and certain things are not. And you can choose to get the starter kit this month, because it is an awesome deal. Last year we had a starter kit special, and it was an in color starter kit special. So the extra thing was in color products. Well, I decided that we still need the in colors, even though we don't have an in color starter kit this time. We just need to know how to get those products and, you know, kind of how to put it together. So I did that for you. And I thought today I would bundle it with a sweet jar so you can see how you can maximize that amount. But just remember, the starter kit is fully customizable. You don't have to put the things that I put in there. You can put some of the things in there. You can sub out. You just need to get close to 165 without going over. I think it's still, you have to be within $5 of 165 in order to check out, but you can't go over. If you have more items and you need to go over, you just save those items. Once your starter kit is approved, then you can go place another order, and you're going to get 20% off, because now you're considered a demonstrator. But don't worry, you don't have to demonstrate. That is totally optional. You can be your very own best customer and just enjoy getting the discount on your products. Because let's face it, right now, we all want a discount on things. And why should we pay full price if we're buying paper crafting products every month? Why not get a discount? Why not be more connected with me, my team, the Stampin' Up community? It is a good deal. All right, I'm going to share that sample starter kit in just a moment. If you're a customer, or if you're already a demonstrator, I have my supply list down below in the description of this video, or even better yet, click over to my blog. It is the first link under the description, and that will have a visual supply list. It will have photos of my project, and it will have more information that you'll need to make this project. All right, well, I am so happy to see so many of you on here this morning. Let me adjust my camera, because it's in wide mode right now, and whenever you go out too wide on my camera, you see mess. So we don't want to see mess this morning. All right, let's click over real quick over here. All right. So let's just talk about this sample starter kit. I put in the cardstock, the designer series paper we're using. We're going to use like a little embellishment up top here. I subbed out the Lost Lagoon ink pad because we don't have a cloud cover ink pad. It reacted badly to the foam and the ink pad. That's not a common occurrence. It's, you know, chemicals, they react. No other colors react with it, but it does. So it turns the Lost Lagoon ink pad from a blue-gray to a gray. So they decided not to have that as part of our ink color collection. So instead, what I'm suggesting, if you don't have the Lost Lagoon ink pad, Lost Lagoon is also kind of a blue-gray, and I feel like this would be also really good for stamping words that you want to have look like cloud cover, but it's a little bit darker, so it will show up just a little bit better. So I think Lost Lagoon is a good substitute for the cloud cover. So that's why it's on here. And of course, all of these are optional. And I just put a little note that that's not a new in color. Technically, Strawberry Slush is not a new in color either, but it hasn't been around for many years. So I know a lot of you won't have it. Some of you may. And then, so all the ink pads except for Secret C. Secret C you could get on here, but today I'm just focusing on the products that I'm using for this project. So I dropped that one off. But I got all the ribbons on here: Cloud Cover, Strawberry Slush, Timid Tiger, and Darling Duckling. And I'm just going to grab these real quick. All right. So here are my ribbons. I haven't opened up Secret C yet, but I put my little ribbon savers on all of these. And it's just nice to have them for projects because they match so nicely with each of the boxes, right? The nice thing about Stampin' Up! Is it's got that color coordination factor, so I just love the way it color coordinates. Let me grab Cloud Cover real quick. Oh, this might be a good opportunity to kind of show you. So here is Cloud Cover on the Lost Lagoon. So, you know, it's in the same kind of range. Cloud Cover is a little bit more gray than Lost Lagoon, but it is within the same range. So this would make a good replacement color. We'll just keep those two out there. Okay, and then of course we got the Sweet Jar bundle that we're using today. We're using silver foil sheet, and if you don't have silver foil sheet, it's good for accents. We used it on the toolbox that we made 2 weeks ago, but it just kind of adds that silver sort of, yeah, color to there. Window sheet for the little boxes. And then I had $12.50 left. And so as I was thinking, what could we put in there for $12.50? And you can put whatever you want. And this is not a product I'm using today, but this paper, it's called Florals in Bloom. It has I think, does it have all the ink colors in it? Let me see. It has Cloud Cover, Darling Duckling, Timid Tiger, Secret C, and I think the only one it even has Strawberry Slush. This paper has all the in colors in it. So this is another good choice if you're getting the in colors, because it has all of the in colors in it. But all of our designer series paper, all our regular designer series paper is $12.50. So if you don't like that paper, you can sub it out with an extra pack of the In Color Designer Series paper if you like, because it's also $12.50, or choose whatever other paper you want for $12.50. And that will max you out at $165, so that you can, get you can use every single dollar of the starter kit without going over. So if you're interested in getting the starter kit, just look down below in the description of the video, and this will be a great sheet to help you get started. Maybe you want to do it exactly as is, that's fine, but if you don't, just sub out what you want, and this will be like a little helper guide. Okay, I've done so much talking, but I want to make sure I get everything in right. Oh, okay, so let's take a look real quick here. I'm just going to slide this out so I can show you. This is a little tiny cellophane bag, and they are these are 2 by 3 inches, I believe. Let's get a ruler. It says 2 by 3, but they might be. No, they are 2 by 3. By the time you fold over the top, they are 3 inches. And the nice thing about these bags is they have, see this printing right here? That is a flap, and it has adhesive on it. So you just pull off that little liner, and you put your whatever, your jelly beans. These are Mike and Ike's right here. These are Mike and Ike's. This is the Mega Mix, so it has a whole bunch of different colors. It's a great color combination for these because it really, you can see all the different colors. M&Ms are also a good thing, but you can put them in here and then just put them in there, and then we can just close this up, and you can still see the candy in there. But this is a little bit more like, especially if you're going to do it for an event, you want to make sure that things are taken care of in a food safety fashion, correct? I don't have a food safety license or anything like that, but I just know that some of you do these for events, and so you want to take a little bit more precaution when you're doing that. You know, when it's friends and family, it might be a little different. So this is what it looks like when it's loose. Just really fun popping colors. And yeah. Okay, let's make one of these in cloud cover. Let's pop this aside. Let's grab, I have neglected to bring my tools over. Let's grab those. I'm going to grab my scoring tool, and I'm going to grab my trimmer. Okay, let's pop this on here. We're going to start off by making the cover. So this is actually cloud cover. The colors kind of distort when I have this in the background. So whatever color you want to do, the most prominent color, that's what you're going to use for your cover. And then we're going to do for the inner part, we're going to use white. That way, because it's a white box, it helps the candy show better because there's light coming in there. Okay, so you'll need the measurements, and I will too, because they are on my project sheet. Okay, we're going to start off. This piece measures 7 3/4 by 3 1/8. All right. Okay, let's score this piece. Oh, you know what? Before we do that, okay. So there's last night. Oh, okay. I'm just gonna hold this up so we're in focus. Last night, I actually scored first, glued my paper on, and then scored again. But you can glue your paper on first, just to one end. But actually last night, I really liked scoring it first, then gluing and scoring once more. So let's do that. But my instructions will be a little bit, like we'll do the paper first and the instructions. Okay, so we've got our piece 7 3/4 by 3 1/8. We're gonna score at 3/4, 3 1/2, 4 1/4, and 7. We're going to grab a little piece of designer series paper. I'm using the same pattern for all of them because it just makes sense. This is 4 1/4 by 3. Actually, it's a teeny tiny bit shy of 4 1/4 because that way, if you're actually gluing this on before you're scoring, it gives you a little bit extra room to create that score line without the interference of the paper edge being right where you want to score. That sometimes makes it a little bit difficult. And the reason I chose 3 inches, this is cardstock is 3 1/8 inches wide, but I want you to be able to get two pieces of designer series paper out of one piece of 6x6. If I did 3 1/8, then you'd only get one out of that piece. So just by going just a teeny tiny bit smaller, you're going to peek a little bit of cardstock. I'm going to move this out of the way for a minute so it shows better. It's going to peek a little bit of cardstock up at the top and at the bottom, but since I'm using the stripe pattern, and I don't think it's going to make a difference on any pattern, but since I'm using the stripe pattern, it actually looks kind of logical. So let's just take this. This is also a pretty pattern, but I wanted to do stripies. I wanted the focus to be on the candy, and this is a nice neutral pattern. I love neutral patterns. They are great. Okay, I'm just sliding this into the place, making sure that this is on one edge, because basically all you need to do is choose your end, because this piece is symmetrical. Like if you flip it this way, you know, it has the same score pattern, so either way. So you just need to glue the designer series paper to the end, and just note you'll see a little cardstock at the top and the bottom. We're going to put this back on the scoreboard. Oh, sorry. I hit my camera stand. Catch made a lot of noise. Okay, let's straighten this up. Okay, so now we're just going to go over the parts. I'm going to do the 4 1/4 inch score mark again and the 7-inch score mark again. If you had glued this on before doing all the scoring, then you wouldn't need to score this again. Okay. Let's go ahead and prep this piece, and then we'll do the bottom. So we're going to grab our punch, and we're punching into the side that has the paper on it, not this side, because you want the paper. So for this, you're going to slide it all the way in as far as it will go. And then I just like to eyeball it. You want to see the same amount of designer series paper on both sides. Okay. And, you know, if that doesn't make you happy, then make yourself a centering mark. This is punching through 2 layers, a cardstock layer and a designer series paper layer. So I'm going to lay this flat on my surface, and I'm going to use the heels of my hand to punch through. Okay. And then I'm going to keep these pieces. I want to make a card with these. So what I was thinking, isn't this cute? So now you have this pretty designer series paper, and if you flip this piece over, you have the cardstock from the back, and this looks like a little jar. Where are my little pieces? So I kept my little pieces from my other ones too, right? And I'll use these on a card because I think this it looks kind of like a pottery jar, right? Like a little clay pot that's been glazed, right? So I thought that's kind of cute, but I'm not going to use it on this project, so I'm just kind of setting it aside for another project. Okay. All right. So here we have our window, and initially I thought I wasn't going to be able to use this punch because the lid wasn't attached to it, but it actually looks really cute to have the lid kind of hovering just above there. It works. It works for me. It works visually. So let's flip this over, and we're going to take a piece of window sheet. This window sheet measures 2 5/8 by 3 inches. It's going to be glued to the back of here. It doesn't go quite all the way to the edge. So you're just going to kind of draw on with your glue. I used to use tear and tape for sticking window sheet, but I have found that Tombow glue, this multi-purpose liquid glue, it's like liquid gold. I use it on so much. It is, you know, a happy adhesive that doesn't usually give me any trouble. It makes me happy. Some people don't like glue, but it's brilliant for 3D projects. Okay, one little thing with this, I've put like a light layer of glue kind of all the way around, just not to the edge. The way I like to do this, I like to kind of let it dry before I put this on here. That way, if you got a big glob of glue on there, it's going to, you want, if you do have a big glob, you want to kind of get rid of the bump, right? But if you do, if you let it dry, it's still gonna stick, but it's not gonna have that big glob that's going to ooze out into the window onto your window sheet. So just let this dry a bit. I'm going to place my window sheet here. Let me think what we can do in the meantime. Oh, I know. We're going to stamp happy birthday. So as I said before, we're using cloud cover, cardstock, but not cloud cover ink. We're going to use Lost Lagoon. And this piece of paper is 2 1/4 by 3/8 of an inch. And we're just lightly gonna ink that up. And there we go. That says happy birthday. And look, it looks right. You know, with words like this, it does not look like Lost Lagoon. It looks like, well, to me, maybe I'm very forgiving, but it doesn't, like, that matches to me really well. So I'm not worried about it. Then we're going to take about a 4-inch length of ribbon. Grab my ribbon cutting scissors. We'll take a 4-inch length of ribbon. And we're just going to do like a little knot. That way it's not too bulky. All right. Why are knots so much easier to do when you're not thinking about them, right? When you just tie them effortlessly, and then if you do one on camera, you're like, ugh, what's going on? So we're just gonna angle cut this. All right, we'll set that aside. Oh, one other thing we're gonna need is we're gonna need this lid. I want to make a silver one. So I'm just going to grab this here. We're gonna punch, this is silver foil, and I'm just gonna punch a silver foil lid. And I want to show you a little trick. This looks a little flat, and you can't really stamp on silver foil. It's too shiny and smooth. So what we're going to do is we're going to, okay, before I do anything, let's glue this window sheet on here, because I don't want to accidentally stick something else to it, because it looks dry at this point. Okay, so my glue has dried, so now I'm putting my window sheet on the back of here. Okay, so now that's ready to go, and we've got our little pieces. So we just need to prep one more piece that we want to put on the front. Grab your scoring board, and I'm just going to put this piece right up into that corner like that. I'm going to take my scoring tool, my stylus tool, and I'm just going to run my ball like all the way down. So now this has a little bit of character on it. Let me get this scoring board out of the way so you can see it. So there we go. It has a little bit of character to it. So we can take this, and now we can add it into our little window. Ooh, that's a lot of glue. Don't want that much. Okay. Now we're just going to put that into the hole. Okay. So it will look like a lid. And I'm trying to decide. I think we can glue this happy birthday on here too. The way I do that, I'm just going to put a little tiny bit of glue on both ends. Okay. And then I'm going to glue this right near the bottom. of the jar. You could also, if you didn't want to put happy birthday going across your candy, before you assemble this box here, you could stamp happy birthday on this side as well. That slides out of the box, or put your greeting there. You just have to make sure that you're stamping in the right spot. And yeah, so, but it can be right on there as well. Okay, so that looks good. So now we're going to assemble our slider cover. It's easy, or if you have a bone folder, especially when we're going over the 2 layers, the designer series paper and the cardstock. I'm leaving my ribbon and my little embellishment for the end because I wanted to have this flat. Okay, so look at this. I have the back side. I'm going to put glue, fold this over, put glue here, and it's going to come over, and I can press it flat. So you can see this is what's happening. The 2 ends are being glued over. But if you want to do it flat, just fold this one over, glue, and then bring this over, and just make sure you are lining up perfectly. You don't want it crooked. And then just go ahead and press down with your bone folder and just press it the other way. Look how cute is that. All right, we're gonna grab these flat pearls. I love them. I'm gonna use my piercer this time. I'm gonna use the medium size, and that's just gonna fit right on top to kind of create like a little jar handle. And then we're gonna take this and find my mini glue dots. Okay, there's one right there. Press. And then we'll put that right, kind of, just want it like just a little bit, kind of like that. And then you can fuss with it if you want. Okay, so there's the little ribbon, there's the cover. Now let's go ahead and make the box. Usually I make the box first. This time I switched it up, and we need this. Set that aside. Let's grab our scoring board one more time. And we'll need a piece of basic white. This piece, you can use thick basic white, but I'm actually using regular basic white just to show you that we're going to do a doubled over box, so it will have enough strength if you don't want to use thick basic white. This piece measures 5 3/8 by 5 3/4. All right. My stylus tool is around here somewhere. Okay, let's score this. Score the same way on all 3 sides. We're going to do 5/8 and 1 3/8 all the way around. I love doing little slider boxes. I think they're one of my favorite boxes to make because I do like it when you have a little window. Okay, so this box is small enough that you could definitely cut these tabs by hand, but I love doing them on my trimmer. So let's do it on my trimmer. So we'll start by lining up. I have the short side facing me, okay? Or the short sides up at the top. We're gonna cut from the second score line out to the edge of the trimmer, okay? So I just keeping that lined up. Here's my little marker, our little indent right here that lines up with the score line, and we're just going to cut outwards. Then we can lift this and come down here and do the same thing for this score line. Once you get it aligned, it's like really quick to cut it because, and it's going to be super straight. So I'm just doing that with both score lines. You can also do that with scissors. Basically, what we're doing is we're going to cut away the 3 corner squares, and we're going to leave this interior square. So, but on this round, we're cutting in from the second score line out. So I'll just show you what that looks like if you're using scissors. This is what it looks like. I am cutting in again to the short end to start. Now I'm going to switch to the long end. And again, we're going to start with the outer score line, lining that up first. And with the outer score line, you're going to cut off both of those outer squares. But with the inner one, we want to retain this one. So we're just going to cut from the first score line in. If you do this, if you practice using your trimmer like this, it becomes faster than scissors, I think. Or maybe not. Maybe you're very fast with scissors. Second score line for both of those. And then we're going to come in to the inner score line and just cut off the outer square just to the first score line. Okay. But if that boggles your mind, just keep in mind these 3 corner squares need to go, and then we just need to retain these ones. Okay. Then we're going to take this and we're going to give these inner squares a little trim on an angle like that. And I just keep flipping and turning it because this is my most comfortable place where I'm cutting with my right hand here. If you're left-handed, you're going to have a different happy cutting place. I love left-handed people. My mom was left-handed. My nephew is left-handed. And I know the world's a little harder for left-handed people, but they are special. Very special. Okay, so this is what it looks like. You can kind of see the score lines here. This is a pattern I do a lot, so you're probably familiar with it. I'm going to fold along all the score lines. This just gives strength to the sides of the box, and it makes it a little bit more substantial. It looks a little bit more professional. These ones, I'm not gonna bone fold these ones. We're just going to do that. Okay. So since these guys are tucking this way, I can glue these ones down first. Okay, so I'm going to do the outer flaps here. And we'll just take this bone folder and make that flat. Okay. Now we're going to do these sides. So we want to tuck and then like this. So let's put glue on here first. And we're going to tuck these guys in. Take your time, get it just right. Okay, and I'm just kind of wiggling it down, just very, very gently. Okay, and we're going to use our bone folder again. And then we'll come over here to the other side. It's going to come in like this and like this. Okay. I'm pressing these in on the sides because I want to make sure my sides are straight and not out like that. So I'm just taking a little time to do that. Okay. Moment of truth, right? Will it fit? I'm always a little worried that like one day like things are going to go wrong. Look at that. It fits really nicely. Okay, so now we just need some candy. All right. I am going to just dump this candy in here. Okay, that's all there is. Right, because you have to sample the candy. Oh my gosh. All right. Okay, so there you go. That's all there is to the little box. Let's bring out the other boxes. Aren't they cute? Couple of things. These bags right here, if you want them, they are on Amazon. The link is down below in the description of the video. So if you need them, there's a link to them. I put a link to Mike and Ike's. I'm pretty sure you can get these everywhere. But if you like this flavor with all these different fun colors, that is a good mix to get, like if you want lots of different colors. It's got a blue, a pink, a yellow, an orange. So it's got the colors, kind of, you know, candy's tricky to get the exact colors, but it has some of those colors that are in here-ish in this mega mix. And there was a bigger bag of this. And so I also have an Amazon link for that. And remember, like almost everything that I use today, assuming that you already have some paper crafting supplies, like a trimmer and a scoring board, you know, you will need those things. But you know, pretty much everything else that I had here today, you can get on my sample starter kit. So, you know, the cardstock that we use is in the multi-pack, the designer series paper, the embellishments, all the ink pads, all the ribbon, the bundle, the window sheet, the silver foil, and then the bonus pack of designer series paper. That all can be had. And I just, here, I'm going to pop this link out real quick. That is the page, cubiesquest.com/join. If you go to that page, or if you just go to cubiesquest.com and look for my join menu, or the starter kit menu actually is what it will say, then you can go to my page, and from there you can sign up to get the starter kit. If you have any questions, I'll make this big for you. There is my email address if you have any questions, because you know, sometimes you have a question that I haven't answered. And if you have one right now too, for sure, please ask it while I'm here. I also did a starter kit live this week that has probably more of your questions answered on there. But I hope you'll think about getting this starter kit. It is fun to be part of Stampin' Up! And it is fun to get a discount on your products. And not only that, you also get the 10% rewards that customers get. You don't just get your 20% off. You get 10% rewards on your next order, just as long as your order is over $20. And let's face it, most orders I place online are at least $20, so that's not hard to do. So just keep that in mind when you're placing an order, whether you're a customer or demonstrator. You want to get to $20 so that you can get rewards. As a demonstrator, you're automatically opted in. If you're placing an order as a customer, that's absolutely fine too. If you're placing an order as a customer, just make sure you are opted into the rewards program. It's pretty easy to do. If you haven't opted in, maybe you saw the pop-up window and you like clicked it away Do you ever do that? Click away pop-up windows and then realize you needed that pop-up window. I do that all the time. But you can go into your profile and opt into the rewards program because the rewards program is free. So you may as well opt in and get 10% rewards off your next order. All right. Well, if you made it this far, I hope you're already a subscriber of my YouTube channel. And when you're subscribing, make sure you click on the notification bell and so that you can learn when I'm going live next. Leave me a comment. Give me a thumbs up. That all helps me be seen by other people, and it really helps me and my small business out. And I appreciate that. Thanks so much. All right, let's talk to all of you. I do this at the end because I can't hold a thought for very long when I'm crafting, so I need to talk to you at the end. Maybe one day I'll be able to do it during, but you don't want me going off on more tangents than I already go off on. And I'm looking over at my stockpile of stuff. Probably the one thing I did not show very well today is this designer series paper. I use a very neutral side of the paper, and I showed you this is one of the patterns and this is one of the patterns. And on Tuesday, we worked with the other pattern. I did a cute little card on Tuesday. We used this pattern. This is probably my favorite pattern because I love flowers, but it has a nice neutral background to this pattern too. So lots of good, and it has all the different colors, the 5 colors. So you will have lots of paper fun to play with if you get that designer series paper pack. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I left out over here in my pile of mess. I think that's it. Let's talk to you. All right, good morning, Nancy from damp and cool Maryland. Yes, I hear you. We have had a lot of damp as well. It actually just started yesterday. We managed to get a walk in yesterday morning, and then it just started raining all day long. So we walked on the treadmill in the evening. And this morning we walked on the treadmill because it was still raining. So yeah. It has been very wet and damp, but the sun did come out for a teeny tiny bit while I was setting up this morning. So I think we're getting some sunshine. I'm excited. Good morning, Fair Blue from chilly, Missouri. Hello, Marty. And it's chilly in Pittsburgh too. It will be summer soon, I'm sure. At least, I don't know, Florida, don't get me wrong, I love my trip to Florida, but when you were out in that heat and humidity all day, at the end of the day, some of the restaurants are really nice, but we ate at the Chefs de France in Epcot. And we had walked around and we were kind of just feeling kind of gross. And then you walk into this beautiful restaurant and you kind of feel like you're super underdressed. But, if you're going to be at Epcot all day, you can't be too pretty. I mean, I'm sure there's some people that could be really pretty and still look nice and cool and clean, but that's not me. I looked fine, but I still felt way underdressed. And it's just the contrast between Florida, where you have such heat and humidity already. I don't know I think it was close to 90 degrees while we were there, and so that it was hot. And then you come back and I had to turn the heat back on in my house because it was cold. So yeah, we're back to winter here. I wore my down jacket this week and I didn't care. I was I'm cold. I came from heat. I need to be warm. So it's funny how and then all of a sudden summer will hit, boom, and there will be no spring. There'll be no in between. It's just from cold to now you're hot, right? Oh my goodness. All right, Mary says it's 52 degrees in Indiana. Oh, not so warm. Hello, Mary. Hello, Sil. She says she loves my channel and I'm so creative. Thank you. Hello, Diane from North Carolina. Good morning, Marianne. Good morning, Bonnie. Marty says she has a Brenda's project sheet file. I was joking, but yeah, thank you. That's cool. Sil says, I actually save on my Google Drive in my Brenda Creations folder. Oh, that's so sweet. I'm super flattered. Fair Blue says, what a cute cider box. Great to make for family birthdays coming up. Yay, awesome. Yeah, this one's a nice one. I don't know. It's so cute, right? Like so cute. I think I sized it just perfectly. I also did a little bit of mathing. That's not a word, but I did a little mathing so that you could get 2 bottoms out of 1 sheet of paper of cardstock. It was a little bit bigger. And then I decided that I didn't want to just use 1 sheet for 1 bottom. And I think you can get 3 of the covers. I'm pretty sure you can get 3 of the covers out of 1 sheet of cardstock too. So I just by sizing it down just a teeny tiny bit, I was able, so you could get more mileage out of a piece of basic white cardstock. So just know that I'm thinking of you guys when you're creating in multiples. All right. Good morning, Janine. Good morning, Karen from Oregon. Hello, Diane. Where did you get ribbon savers? Well, Diane, I'm so glad you asked. Ribbon savers are my invention, and they've been very popular. So if you are accessing my project sheets page, look back to February, I believe it was, and I did ribbon savers. They are a piece of cardstock that is glued around the ribbon and the ribbon roll, and it just has a little slot right here. Right now, you might have a slot punch in your possession. If you don't, Stampin' Up! Does have a set of punches. They are back ordered though, and so a little slot punch, or you can use like a circle punch. You just need to be able to get the ribbon through. Yeah, ribbon savers. That's where we got them. Okay. And Karen answered. I should have known you guys were going to answer in the meantime. So yeah, if you're on, I'm sure that you're subscribed to my my page. So you should be able to access that and get the project sheet. Hello, Susan from Nevada. It's only 99 degrees today. Oh my goodness. But I bet it's a dry heat, so it's all okay, right? No, I'm just kidding. Dry heat can be really hot too. I grew up in a place in Canada where it was hot and dry, like not humid, it was dry. And it got really hot there as well too. Dry heat is just, humidity just makes you feel very sticky. So there is a difference, but that's hot, very, very hot. All right. Karen says cute boxes. Tammy says love it. And Karen says I do have a video. I do that too. Marty says you could use the jar without the lid and put greens and flowers coming out of the top. Yes, you could. It could be like a little pottery jar or vase. Not for a window project like this, because when we do this, we have to, the lid part is just there. I mean, I'm sure there's a way that we could cover that up, but when we punch, the lid is part of the punch. But I think it looks good. Like, I'm not at all upset with the way that this window turned out, even if it was open, but it's so easy just to put like a little piece of cardstock filler in there, and then it doesn't look bad. I'm glad it worked. All right, let's keep going. Valerie, good morning. I have a bunch of team members on here today, and I'm so glad you're here. Marty says scoring the lid is a great idea. It just adds a little something, doesn't it, to make it just look a little bit more like a lid. Nancy says her mom was left-handed, and she's left-handed too, and her daughter's left-handed. Apparently that is rare. Did I mention our dog was left-pawed? No, that's funny. Is that a thing? Do dogs have like right and left paws? Like that I didn't know that. That's cool if it is. And yeah, so my mom was left-handed, and my sister and I are both right-handed, but one of her sons is left-handed. So it's kind of neat in a sense, like that kind of, I don't know. I don't know if it comes down from genes or whatever, but it's cool. It's like being left-handed. Like, I'm not left-handed, but I think it's cool. It might be harder, but it I don't know. To me, it's not a bad thing. For my mom, growing up where she did, it was a bad thing. And I know that it probably, all of that mental stuff with the left-handedness, I think it thwarted her a little bit. I think she might have been a slightly different person had she not, had that. I think she might have been more creative, because she wouldn't be scared to use her left hand, because she didn't ever want to show us crafty things, because her dominant hand would be different than our dominant hand. So I think it thwarted her a little bit, and that's kind of sad. So, but left-handed people are often very creative. So it is, because she could draw, she could draw beautiful. She liked to kind of draw fashion, on women, kind of like sketches, like a fashion designer would. It was really cool. Anyway, I digress. All right. Hello, Joyce. I'm glad you're here. She says, awesome as usual. Mary says, they're so cute. Bonnie says she loves the box. Diane says, cute boxes, and thanks for sharing. And Estelle says she loves this. Cutie Puppy says, such a cute batch of boxes. Very nice. Well, thank you. Mary Moat, how do you cash in the rewards? That's a really good question. So the way it works, customer rewards, when you purchase something, and it's over $20 and you've opted in, you're going to see as you check out how much rewards you're earning. You don't use the rewards on the order that you're placing, but you can use them on your next order, or you can save them to purchase something bigger. But I would suggest using them right away, because, I kind of feel like I'm at Kohl's shopping. I always want to use my rewards right away. So try and use them on your next order. And there is an option when you're checking out. Do you want to use your rewards? And you can write in, or whatever amount you want to use. If you want to use all of them, you just put in that amount. And the cool thing is, like, say you have like $5 in rewards and you're placing a $50 order. You can use the $5 to bring your product total down to $45. But that $45 you're going to earn rewards on. You just don't earn rewards on rewarded dollars, so to speak, but you can use rewards and earn rewards on the same order, so to speak. So yeah, it's just on the next order. That's the way you use them. I hope that makes sense. And if you ever, if anyone ever has problems with that, just please reach out to me. And it works the same way if you're a demonstrator. On your order, you're going to see a place where you kind of come to the totals area, and it tells you, do you want to use rewards, or there's a spot to put them in, and you just put them in and it reduces your order total. Okay, let's see. Marty says she likes the heat but not the humidity, and that's why she loves Arizona. Well, that's cool. Hello, Nalita. You're a lefty too. That's so cool. Nalita's on my team, and I swear she is like the fastest crafter ever. So that does not slow you down at all. Twyla says it is a right-handed world. You're right. Yeah, it is. It is designed for right-handedness, but left-handed people are special. And you were taboo. Yeah, yeah. My mom. I know I've talked about this before, but they said that the left hand was the bad hand. Isn't that awful? Ugh, it's just terrible. I can't even imagine growing up. Like, no wonder she had like issues with showing us stuff. Like, that was mental baggage she was carrying around. Wish it wasn't so, but she was an awesome mom. All right, let's keep going before I get all teary-eyed. Okay. Jean says, I have such beautiful projects for us to make. Thank you so much. Well, you're welcome. Twyla says, left-handed people can usually use either hand for most things. And that's true. My mom was like that. She could use both hands. Oh, and Marty says, like, the rewards are good for a year. So it's not like Kohl's, unless they've changed. But Kohl's, you had to use your rewards really quickly. Stampin' Up! Rewards are good for a full year after you earn them. So that really helps if you don't place orders every single month. You have time to use them. And question, Twilight, can a demonstrator earn rewards? Yes, we can. We do on all our orders plus our discount. So you get your discount and you earn rewards on your orders. So it's a cool thing of being a demonstrator. And I think right now, especially with our economy the way it is, with the prices increasing, it is just nice to have like a little bit of a break with getting a discount. And so yeah, discount and rewards if you're a demonstrator. And if you have any questions about that, just email me. I'd be happy to answer them. And look below. I've got that sample starter kit, if to kind of give you an idea of all the things you could get on your starter kit. The starter kit also ships for free, so that's another saving just with the starter kit. All right. Martha said she loves the card today. The charge is very neat, and I agree it would look very pretty with the flowers coming out of it. Okay. That absolutely, you can actually change it up and do whatever you want with it. The little sweet jar bundle is really fun to play with, and I'll be doing more projects with the in colors in the future. I'm dedicating the rest of May to doing in color projects, so you can see how cool this set of in colors is. All right, I have kept all of you way too long. I'm glad that you're here. And Diane has found my Ribbon Savers project sheet, and now she's going to happily probably be making ribbon savers for all her ribbons. I know I've promised this before. I have created a master ribbon savers project sheet. It's going to be a big one, and that one's going to actually be a paid one, or you can place an order to get it for free. I just haven't released it yet because I keep finding more stuff to add to it, and then I was away. But it will come out eventually, and it has different sizes because we used to have different sizes of ribbons. So if you have retired ribbon, that is what will help you. I've had some people say, oh, your ribbon savers don't work for spools with tiny holes. Well, they do. I just changed up the sizing a bit. But these ribbon savers on the original one, they will do the current size ribbon rolls, which have I think it's a 3/4 inch hole here. And I tell you, they make my life better. And what can I say? I had so many problems for so many years with my ribbon, and now, yeah, this is the perfect solution for it. And Nalita asks, you have old label sheets for markers, like for past Stampin' Blends? Yes, I do. You just need to reach out to me. I have the current ones up right now, but I still have the old. So you just need to let me know what year you need. All right. Okay, I hope everyone has a great weekend. Project sheets coming out tomorrow. Have a great weekend, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.